Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something fundamental.
Yeah, we're talking about habits. How do you build good ones that, you know, actually last?
And just as importantly, how do you finally kick those bad habits?
Exactly. We're focusing on the core ideas behind behavior change.
Giving you, our listener, the learner, a kind of shortcut to figuring out how to manage your routines and, well, get things done.
hmm We're diving into strategies that really work for lasting change. And maybe to kick things off, there's a great story about Victor Hugo.
Oh, the writer with the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That's the one. He had this massive deadline looming.
Ah, the classic deadline pressure. I think most of us know that feeling. He needed to focus, I guess.
He really did. And the way he did it was, well, pretty unconventional. Our sources say he basically told his assistant to gather up all his clothes.
Well, it's close.
Yep, lock him away, left him with just a big shawl.
So picture this. Victor Hugo, famous author, just wrapped in a shawl. Couldn't exactly pop out for coffee like that.
Precisely the point. He had no suitable clothes to go outside.
So he was stuck inside, forced to write.
That was the idea. And it worked. He finished The Hunchback, even got it to the publisher early.
Wow. Okay. That's dedication. Or maybe desperation.
Hmm.
So let's unpack that. This story, it really highlights our first big idea, doesn't it? It's sort of the flip side of making good habits easy.
Exactly. We talk a lot about the third law of behavior change, making good habits easy. But Hugo did the opposite for his bad habit, procrastination. He made it hard.
Right. He increased the friction.
He did. That locked chest of clothes, that was a huge barrier. Made it way harder to get distracted by things outside his study. And that's what we call a commitment device.
A commitment device. Okay, that makes sense. Like a choice you make now to make sure you do the right thing later.
You got it. You're setting up a system to lock in the good behavior or restrict the bad one. Hugo's clothes thing stopped him from being tempted right then and there.
It's about using those moments when you have good intentions before the temptation really hits.
Exactly. And it's amazing how many ways you can apply this. The sources have some really practical examples.
Like what?
Well, think about buying snacks in individual packs instead of a giant bag.
So that little bit of extra effort to open another one stops you.
Sometimes, yeah. Or people voluntarily putting themselves on, like, casino self-exclusion lists.
Oh, interesting. Doing it when they're thinking clearly to stop themselves later.
It's pre-commitment, binding yourself to a plan.
Like that athlete leaving their wallet home before a weigh-in so they can't grab fast food.
That's another great one. And technology can play a role, too. There's this guy near Ello uses an outlet timer to kill his internet at bedtime.
A forced digital curfew. I like that.
Or even just asking the waiter to box up half your meal before it even gets to the table.
Right, using your resolve up front before you're starving.
The key is making it harder to slip up than to just stick with the plan.
It really is about timing, isn't it? Acting when you're motivated.
Definitely. Even things like scheduling and paying for yoga class in advance.
Because you've already committed time and money. Makes you less likely to skip.
Exactly. So commitment devices, they make bad habits difficult right now, which boosts the odds of sticking to the good ones later.
Okay, so making things difficult is one powerful strategy. But the sources suggest we can take it even further, right? Like beyond just difficult.
We can. The ultimate goal, really, is making good habits almost, well, inevitable, and making bad habits practically impossible.
Impossible? How do you do that?
This leads us to the idea of automation.
Automation. Okay. And this is where the cash register story comes in. Seems like a bit of a jump.
It does, but stick with me. John Henry Patterson, back in the 19th century, had a big problem in his store. Employees were stealing.
Because the old receipt systems were easy to cheat?
You got it.
Right.
Easy to alter receipts, hard to track the money. It was a constant headache.
Must have been frustrating, trying to trust people, but...
Exactly.
Blech.
But instead of just making more rules or trying to, change the employee's morals directly, he found this invention, Ritty's incorruptible cashier.
The first cash register.
The very first. And its genius was its design.
How did it work?
Every time someone made a sale, the machine automatically recorded it, printed a receipt, and locked the cash away.
So it made it super obvious if the money didn't match the records.
Pretty much impossible to steal without getting caught. It automated honesty in that situation.
Wow. And did it work?
Like a charm. Overnight, theft just stopped. His business went from losing money to making a profit fast.
That's incredible. He actually bought the rights to the invention, didn't he? Started NCR.
He did. National Cash Register. Huge company. But the core lesson is powerful. Changing the environment made the behavior change automatically.
Instead of relying on willpower or catching people, that's a really different way to think about it.
It really is. And it highlights the power of modifying the environment over just trying to change the person. This idea leads us to something really practical. One-time actions.
One-time actions, you mean things you do just once, but they keep paying off?
Exactly that. A single effort up front that delivers benefits again and again, almost on autopilot.
I like the sound of that, like planting a tree versus watering a plant every day.
Good analogy. These actions sort of automate good habits. Our sources list quite a few across different areas of life.
Okay, let's hear some. What about, say, nutrition?
Simple things, really. Buying a water filter makes drinking water easier. You probably drink more. Using smaller plates helps with portions without you constantly thinking about it.
Subtle but effective. What about sleep?
Again, one-time purchases. A good mattress. Blackout curtains. Huge impact on sleep quality night after night.
Or taking the TV out of the bedroom. One decision removes a nightly temptation.
Exactly. Then there's productivity. So many digital ones here.
Like unsubscribing from junk email.
Totally. Or turning off notifications you don't need. Setting your phone to silent is the default. Small things. Big difference in focus.
And for the really big distractions, maybe deleting social media apps off your phone.
That's a powerful one. Like Hugo locking his clothes away, right? Makes the bad habit much harder, maybe impossible in the moment.
It connects back. What about general happiness or well-being?
Well, the sources mention things like getting a dog encourages walks, connection, or even choosing to live in a friendlier, more walkable neighborhood. A big decision, but lasting effects.
And basic health stuff.
Obvious one. Getting vaccinated. A literal one-shot deal with huge protection. Buying good, supportive shoes prevents pain down the road. Setting up your workspace properly with a good chair or standing desk.
Right. Prevents discomfort that builds up over time. And finance.
Lots here. Setting up automatic savings transfers, pay yourself first, automatically. Automatic bill pay avoids late fees.
Cutting cable, negotiating lower bills, those are one-time actions too.
Absolutely. One phone call potentially saves money every month.
Wow, that list covers a lot. And the point is, you don't have to do all of them, right? Even just a few.
Exactly. Even tackling, say, half of these could seriously improve your life over time, kind of running in the background. They make the good habits the default path.
And technology, we touched on it, but it seems like a massive lever for this kind of automation.
Oh, huge. Technology can take stuff that used to be a hassle and make it seamless. It's reliable, doesn't forget. Especially good for things you don't do often.
Like rebalancing your investments, something you know you should do.
But it's easy to put off. Tech can automate that. Or think about automatic prescription refills.
Yeah, ensures you don't run out of important medication.
Or automatic 401k contributions from your paycheck. Meal delivery services automate the planning and shopping. Website blockers automate focus by blocking distractions.
It reminds me of that quote, Alfred North Whitehead. Something about civilization advancing by automating things.
Civilization advances by extending the number of operations we can perform without thinking about them. That's the one. Automation frees up our mental energy.
But there's a downside too, right? Technology isn't always helping us build good habits.
Definitely not. It's a double-edged sword. The same features that make things easy can automate bad habits too.
Like autoplay on Netflix or YouTube. It just keeps going unless you actively stop it.
Exactly. It takes more effort to stop than to just let it keep rolling.
Think about food delivery apps or endless social media feeds. They make it so easy to act on impulse.
Minimal friction. Want food. Tap, tap. It's coming. Bored. Scroll, scroll. Endless content. It makes instant gratification incredibly accessible.
Which can, pull us away from things that might be harder but more rewarding in the long run.
That's the risk. We default to the easy thing, not necessarily the important thing.
So managing that environment, including the digital one, is key. Which brings us to that personal experiment you mentioned earlier.
Ah, yes, the social media password reset strategy.
Tell us about that. It sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, so this person arranged for someone else to reset all their social media passwords every Monday morning. Log them out everywhere.
And they couldn't log back in.
Nope. They worked all week without access. Then they got the new passwords Friday afternoon for the weekend.
Wow. What happened? Did they go crazy?
Surprisingly, no. The interesting thing was how fast the urge to check faded. Like within the first week.
Really?
Yeah. It turned out the constant checking wasn't some deep need. It was just easy, available. The default action when momentarily bored or stuck.
So taking away the ease took away the urge.
Pretty much. Making the bad habit impossible, or at least very difficult, during work hours revealed that the motivation for deeper work was actually still there. It just needed space.
It's like you said before, removing the junk food makes the healthy food look better.
Exactly. Remove the easy mental candy, and suddenly the nutritious mental work becomes more appealing. It really shows the power of strategically removing temptation.
Okay, so pulling all these different threads together, commitment devices, one-time actions, technology, it seems like automation in all its forms is kind of the ultimate goal for locking in good habits.
I think so. It's the best way we have to guarantee future behavior, reducing how much we have to rely on willpower, which, let's be honest, isn't always reliable.
Yeah, willpower fades, but a good system keeps working.
Right. Commitment devices, those smart one-time choices, using technology wisely, they all work together to build an environment where the good habits just happen. They become almost inevitable.
All right, let's wrap up this deep dive then. We've covered quite a bit flipping that third law to make bad habits difficult using commitment devices.
hmm And then the power of automation, whether it's through those big one-time environmental changes or leveraging technology smartly.
Making good habits easier or even automatic, and bad habits really hard, sometimes impossible.
Exactly. So for you listening, the learner, maybe think about one area in your life. Is there a good habit you want to build or a bad one you want to ditch?
Which of these ideas could work for you? Could you add some friction to the bad habit?
Or maybe set up a commitment device to lock in your good intentions?
What about a one-time change? Something you could do today that would make things easier tomorrow and the day after.
Or is there a way technology could automate the positive behavior for you?
Just consider, what's one small tweak you could make based on these ideas that might have surprisingly big positive effects down the line?
It's definitely something worth pondering.